What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Darkest Dungeon. I had somebody ask me the other day if I liked the game, and I told them straight-facedly I alternate between loathing it and loving it. This is the sort of game that really gets under your skin if you're highly emotional. Like, for example, if you get into games and you feel like the salt and then you feel the highs of joy. Like, if a game is capable of eliciting those emotions in you, this game will probably just do a number on you, because I alternate between being down in the dumps to just being absolutely, I don't know, over the moon about this game. It just kind of depends on how my RNG is going at any given moment. It's kind of like if you ask somebody whether or not they like slot machines. They're going to say they love slot machines right after they win. If they just lost 500 bucks on a slot machine, they're going to say that they hate them. I mean, it is what it is. As for right now, we do have things that we need to solve with this group. We're doing very well, but our roster is full. It looks like we're out of just about every resource that we could possibly use. So, my goal for right now is maybe we're just going to farm for a little bit. That's basically all there is to it. I'm thinking a medium run would probably go pretty well for us. Did we get Reynald taken care of? Okay, so we got rid of his kleptomania. That's good. We've also got the guild opened up right now, which means that this opens him up to moving some skills around, and I think that's probably a decent idea. One of the best investments you can make in this entire game is upgrading skills, because if you take a look at the bar right there, it increases accuracy. Sometimes it increases your crit. So, for example, he gets +1 to crit if we put this in. I mean, it really is a good thing to work on. So if you want to make your characters better, the best way to do it is to upgrade their skills. Their gear also functions in that fashion, but to a lesser extent, largely because it takes longer to get all your characters into new gear. That's the thought that I wanted to come out, and so I figured it would get there eventually. So there it is. Right now we have a lot of people who are out and just sort of like taking time off. However, I don't think that leaves us in too bad of a corner, because right now we really need to level up our occultist. This is a good occultist right here. He's got fantastic skills for a starter occultist. Demon's Pull, very useful for getting rid of nukers that are in the back line. Word Reconstruction, self-explanatory. Fantastic skill all around, especially if you're running with, say, Boneth, who has the ability to dispel bleed. So, things to think about along the way. Additionally, Abyssal Artillery. Oh my god, Abyssal Artillery is my shit right here. Essentially, it allows you to attack their entire back line with the power of Cthulhu, and it's amazing. It's the greatest thing ever. So, without further ado, let's just jump in. We're a little bit low on cash right now, but I think we'll be alright. We just gotta hang in there for the long run. What mission do I want to do right now? Well, it appears as though the game is going to force us to go after the Necromancer's Apprentice. Now, that's not necessarily so bad. The Necromancer's Apprentice, not a hard fight, not an easy one either, but definitely the easiest of the bosses. I've gone up against the Swine Prince, I've done the Hag, and I've done the Necromancer Apprentice at this point, and there's definitely like a difficulty progression. So the Necromancer Apprentice is by far the easiest. What he does is every turn he's going to spawn 2 skeletons on you, and then he exclusively uses AoE damage, I think, as I recall anyways. It's been 2 or 3 days since I fought him last. So you'll probably want to run double healer on him. You'll probably want to run fairly strong DPS as well, otherwise you're going to get bogged down on just kind of like the little minutiae, or the minutia of getting rid of. I like saying minutiae, or minutiae, because that's the way that the word is spelled and it makes me happy. But anyways, we'll go with, let's go with McCall. Well, I need to rework her skills slightly, otherwise this might not work out so great for us. Hold on, I need her to be a little bit more viable. So what I'm planning on doing right now is we just need her to have Divine Grace. We're going to give her the better Divine Grace. We're also going to give her better Divine Comfort. And then we're going to give her... Does the next one heal 4? It does not, but it has a 6% crit mod. That's actually pretty amazing. Okay, well, nonetheless, I think it's gonna work for us for right now. You want to have plenty of healing for this fight, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. This is because he's dropping AoEs like every single turn. It can become a major issue for you when it comes down to stress and also just damage retention. If he's critting a lot, if you just get a couple bad turns in a row where the enemy's critting you nonstop, it's not going to go well for you. It's not going to go well for you. So for right now, I'm a little bit disappointed with our hero spread right now. We're really sort of like stuck with certain people. I would prefer to bring Ansgot. Unfortunately, there's no time pass like dungeons over here. All of them are for higher levels. So the unfortunate thing we're running into right now is we're essentially pigeonholed into doing this with a party that I think is subpar. However, I think we can make it work. We just have to be positive about the situation, and I think it'll be alright. Do I want to bring Dismas, or do I want to bring... Dismas has that right there. I love Bandit Sense for when you camp, because it lowers your chances of getting attacked in your sleep. A big deal. A very big deal. Getting attacked in your sleep is sort of problematic. It lowers your light level all the way down, so that you have to spend a bunch of torches to recover. Essentially, it's a lot. Depending on the size of the dungeon right now, I'm going to bring... I think that should be alright for food. I always overstock on food just because hunger is so random in this game. The variability between how much food you can eat on any given run is enormous. Like, sometimes they're total gluttons, and then other times they don't eat for the entire dungeon no matter how much you pack, and you do take a lot of stress and a lot of damage by making a food check without food. So I tend to pack extra, and then I just use it as on-spot heals if I need to. So it's not like an item that's going to be, you know, worthless to me in the future. This might be a little bit of overpacking, but I'd rather overpack than underpack. Let's ride. Okay, so welcome on into the dungeon. I apologize. It's still doing that thing where it drops my recording software every time we go into a dungeon. If there's frame rate issues over the course of the episode too, that's the reason why. The game really hates everything, and I'm guessing I'm going to have to break out OBS to get it done because, frankly, Fraps hates it, Bandicam hates it, DxTory hates it. Basically, every software ever hates this game for some reason. And so I've essentially used up my entire library right now. I'm going to leave that alone for the moment. I'm going to save that for later, and I'm just going to take note of it on the map for right now. I'm hoping we can get the Necromancer Apprentice. I'm going to try and get the whole thing done today while we're in here. Let's keep stress low for right now. I'm going to stay away from any stimuli which might possibly stress out the party. It's a good thing to do when you're on the beginning of a boss run, and then later on you can come back for all this stuff. After you complete the fight, you can go through and like loot it all and make sure you've got all the good stuff. I would virtually guarantee you the Necromancer's right there. It's pretty easy to call a lot of the time. Frankly, the map generation is a little bit predictable in this game. If you think that it looks too easy, it's not. Like, you're like, oh, well, obviously they wouldn't put the boss in the super obvious place at the end of that hallway. They'd put him in some other random spot. Nope, he's exactly where you think he is. Okay, so we'll disarm that trap right there. Very nice. We'll continue forward on into the dungeon. It looks like the chalice over here. This is going to be a treasure room, essentially. That's what the chalice means, but there's going to be a fight in it as well. Either that, or if you see that right there and you're on a mission to collect medicine or something, the room with the chalice typically has the medicine or something in it. It's like a quest item room. I don't know really how else to describe it.
Spirits are lifted, and purpose is made
okay.
clear.
We've got a decent group right now, so I really do think we have a solid chance of making a run on the Prince without running into too many problems. She's a really good backline striker. She's got a lot going for her, so I think she can make this whole thing work in the end. But for right now, I think I'd prefer... I can only stun the front two lines. Okay, that's not so bueno, but we can fix this later on. What I'll do for right now is I'm going to drop that on him. It's going to debuff his dodge ability so that I can get after him easier and get rid of him before he stacks up a whole bunch of stress on our characters. It's what I prefer anyways. There we go. And so that's one of the big reasons you want to make sure that you debuff him if you can. The next thing we want to do is we want to pull this guy up to the front line using Eldritch Pull. And so there it is. That's actually pretty much effectively destroyed their strategy right now. He can only melee attack at this point. He can't use Quarrel anymore. And so that means we don't have to worry about his big like 25 damage crits coming through. Additionally, that puts him right in the front line. So basically we can just deeps our way through him if we want to, or DPT our turn through him, I guess. Can't have DPS in a turn-based game. You can only have damage per turn, I guess. I don't know. Dead weight's unfortunate, especially, okay, he didn't resist it, so that's not good. It's problematic, but not enormously so. It's an issue, but not a massive one. Did I forget to swap out her ability? Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. It'll be okay. Oh my god, okay, well, maybe we're not off to such a great start. I'm lying. Ooh, and word reconstruction got a 0. Okay. Well then, let's get started with the heals. I would like for you to go away. Oh man, he's gonna have 1 HP left. This is the story of my life. Well, we may get crumped on this one. It's seeming increasingly likely. I mean, we've got a lot of stress right early. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, but we definitely have stress to deal with. I'm gonna move her back because I'm gonna have her self-heal, and then I'm gonna have him. Oh, we got a 1, a 0, and then a 1. All right, it's got to get better. 2 turns in a row. We got a 0 and a 1. Oh man, RNG God's getting us right now. What's funny is I just got done playing on my other profile. I got like an 8, a 9, and a 10 all in a row, so watch. It's just balancing it out right now. Please don't. Damn, son, you need to stop getting knocked back. The AI knows what it's doing right now. It 100% knows what it's doing. The AI is actually really smart about playing the most like trollish way possible. There we go. We fished one out, so now we're back on stable ground. We're looking good right now. We're looking very good. A nice recovery. I think I'll probably go for... let's just stay on him. I mean, we can't deal that much damage with our rogue in melee, but it's something. 8 damage right there. Basically a crit. I mean, I think that's the higher end of his actual spectrum of damage to deal. We'll get rid of him, and I'll try and stun lock him until we can get ourselves all patched up. I prefer to run, if I'm going to run an occultist, I really like to run an occultist alongside a plague doctor with stun bombs and also the bleed cure. Makes your life a little bit easier. Believe me when I say it. On this side, word reconstruction. Got a 4 right there. Not the best roll, but it'll work for right now. It'll work for right now. Assuming we can actually stun lock this guy and keep this from happening any further. Come on. There we go. We're going to stun lock him for right now. And after that, we're going to sit around and kind of like spam heals on ourselves because we really do want to go into the final fight in this dungeon very, very well equipped. Want to make sure our buffs are looking good. She resisted and got a 5 out of it. Okay, our health's looking good. I would say finish the fight right now before anything else goes wrong, and then we'll rearrange our line. I used to be a big fan of the Highwayman, but I'm about 30 hours into my gameplay now on my personal game, and there are so many other classes in this game that are far more viable. I would say that the biggest issue, if you're looking at this game right now, the biggest issue with the game is that a lot of the classes are unviable, and other ones are really, really viable. And so honestly, my perfect group is like Occultist, Plague Doctor with stun bombs, and the Poison Cure. Bleed cure. And then after that, typically what I'll bring along is probably a Crusader who has the 3 damage shield that he can cast on anybody, and then other than that, the exact same abilities that he has. So the stun, the AoE, the smite, but I'll swap out Bulwark of Faith for his little 3 damage heal. And then the second person in the line, I will typically prefer to take either a Hellion or a Bounty Hunter. That's the 2 choice. Probably a Bounty Hunter if I had to choose between the 2. Right now we have an option to open this up, and we don't have a Grave Robber with us. The Grave Robber, as far as I know, gets a better chance at this, but I'm going to open it up anyways. Hidden Treasures. Fantastic. Sounds like a place where you would buy fancy ladies' underwear. Hidden Treasures. Come get your lingerie. Doesn't it sound like a lingerie store? It does to me anyways. I should rearrange my line right now. There we go. That's better. That's far more acceptable. A little bit of food eaten right there. I'm going to leave this alone. Like I said, we'll come back for all of this later. In fact, I'll probably do it off camera if we have a good run on the Necromancer Prince or the Necromancer's Apprentice or whatever. He's over here on the right. I can virtually guarantee it. Looks like we got a couple of fights in front of us, so we're not out of the woods yet. In fact, we're about to get a double whammy. I'm going to try and keep our light radius high. The reason being is that this is not necessarily a cash run. This is a run where we're trying to progress and do well. And so, okay, that's a gimme. We'll be alright. That's a gimme. Assuming that the monster doesn't dodge. That's the other part of it, I guess. I think they have decent stun resist, but I'm going to try and stun one of them just to kind of like lower the amount of damage we're going to take here. 5 damage done right there. Unfortunately, I was trying to snipe him before his turn so that that wouldn't happen. If you get Blight, yeah, we have no way to cure that for right now. So anyways, oh, a miss and a dodge. The difference being is that the dodge is a check that is made after the miss. So your miss chance... Oh, I just messed up. It's okay, though. At least it, like, did some healing to somebody. Anyways, I was trying to click on the spider over here to tell you about how it works. So essentially when you swing, if you look at your accuracy base right there, you will swing with an 85% chance to hit. If that 85% chance goes first and then misses, it applies a miss. If you get the hit, but then they make their dodge roll afterwards, which they have a 13% chance to dodge afterwards, then it'll say dodge, and so I'm just distinguishing between the two for you. Low rolls right there. Unfortunate. We did get a little bit of hope back from it, though, so that's pretty cool. That'll help out. On this side, we got a little bit of health missing. I think I'm just going to go in for the kill, whatever. Although she's going to dodge our Divine Bolts of Lightning. Unfortunately, the Divine aren't really interested in aiming today. They don't have their bifocals on or something. There we go. So there's the combat rectified. We're actually getting real lucky right now. A little bit of cash right there. We'll take that. Gonna leave that Iron Maiden behind because it's too risky for right now. We'll come back. Like I said, we'll go all the way back through the dungeon and get everything later on. Light radius just drops slightly. We want to hustle. Treat this game as much as you can. Okay, so we surprised them. So we got a good option right now. I think I'm going to demon pull him to the front, assuming that he does not resist. And so him now having been demon pulled, let's go ahead and focus our resources on... He's got... What's his stun resist? 38%. Stun resist is pretty decent. I think... Well... Let's go for it. He resisted, okay. He has almost a 50-50 to resist it, but it was worth a little attempt just to see what we could get out of it. I would like... I don't know what I want to do right now. I was a big fan of Grape Shot Blast, but its damage mod and its crit rate have really left me sort of like wanting lately. I do still like the ability, and I do still think it's worth casting, but I've had like a change of heart on it, I guess. 7 and 7 right there, 14 damage. Very, very nice spread that we wanted to go with. I think that I will go in for the kill on him real fast, and we'll drag the rest of them forward, because that puts him in a prime spot to interrupt his turn by dragging him to the front. Ah, he resisted. He got lucky. Okay. Well, our choice now being, let's see if we can continue to stun him, because I hate his ability that knocks back, and he almost always uses it on your second line guy. 7 damage done right there. Not so good. Not so bueno, but we can live with it. It's fine. Axe blade to the face. One of the worst places to take an axe blade. I would not like to take an axe blade anywhere. Frankly, I just don't want to be axe bladed. That's a new verb that I've been working on. Axe bladed. I axe bladed that guy. You know how it goes. It's where you like karate chop somebody. You'd be like, I axe bladed him. I don't know. It seems like you could just say karate chop and people would get it better. On this side, I'm going to have him heal himself. Please resist. And then there it is. Fantastic. That's the opposite of stop resisting. Just keep resisting. How dare you, sir? How dare you? I needed you to make a singular strike. But unfortunately, you had one thing to do. You had literally one thing to do. A singular strike. Messed it up. This is why I don't love you. I'm like, oh man. I totally wish this Splatter Cat loved me more. Now my life is ruined. This sucks. Ooh, took a bleed right there. That's unfortunate. It's not going to do that much damage, but still. Ah. You should cast that ability. So if you're wondering when you should be using Judgment,
remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
You should be using Judgment whenever you're going to heal her anyways. So let's say that you're going to use a single target heal on her. You might as well use Judgment, because chances are you're going to score, if it's level 1, between like a, I think it's between a 2 and a 5. 3 is actually a pretty decent spread right there, so you're still getting 3 healing and you're getting to DPS. So if on any turn you're trying to decide whether or not you should heal her and like gamble for a high number, or just like get a 3 heal and deal a little bit of damage with a very, very high crit modifier too. She has a 12% crit chance with that attack, so that's no slouch as far as this game's concerned. It crits quite a bit, and it does decent damage. It's only minus 20%, so technically she's only losing 1 damage off of it, so it'll crit for around 12 to 14 when it goes off. We don't have Holy Water back here, but I'll still check it because I hate myself and I like, you know, gambling with permanent status debuffs. Why not? We gotta eat right there, so we will feed our characters.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
And no combat right there. Getting pretty lucky right now. Getting pretty lucky. It looks like we got a treasure room right here. An ambush room right there. I'll probably try and avoid that altogether, because the ambush rooms, these right here, I think they have a higher chance to surprise you. I've noticed that with those rooms I get surprised a lot. I'm not sure, because the information on the game is not necessarily like so forthcoming just yet. The developers haven't truly explained how a lot of the systems work, and so the wiki is kind of empty at the moment. I'm a wiki reader, I really am. I'm the kind of person that with a game like this that requires a lot of metagame knowledge, I just sit on wikis and read nonstop until I feel like my knowledge is complete.
Only the strength to follow it.
Okay. No surprises there. That's pretty good actually, though. I'm kind of glad about it. I'll probably start off by trying to stun him, although like I said, 50-50. Oh good, we got the stun. I mean, we're still going to take a quarrel, which is bad because it has a really, really high crit chance. But it didn't crit, so we might be okay here. 12 damage in 1 turn. Not looking super bueno right now. 6 damage done to the guy in the back line. The reason being is that we need him. Let's drag him up to the front too so that we can take strikes at him if we need to. He's going to have Tempting Goblet. You should always... Oh. Okay, so essentially with Tempting Goblet, it should always be your first priority. There's no reason for you to be going after anything but the guy giving the Tempting Gauntlets, or the Tempting Gauntlet, the Tempting Goblets out. I can speak. I swear I know how. I am versed in it. I'm going to start DPSing him. We're going to try and drag him to the front in the next little bit. Please don't crit. Okay, I can live as long as it doesn't crit, I'm okay. If it starts critting, it makes me upset. So we got 2 damage done right there. I can pull him or I can word heal. Let's focus on healing on the back end. Let's drag him up to the front, hope he doesn't resist. There we go. So he's now a whole lot more useless. These little guys right here, not really a whole lot of, you shouldn't worry about him too much. That's going to be a waste, I think. Oh, he usually has a really, really high resist chance on being moved, as I recall. He has like a 70% chance. So that's actually, he beat the odds right there by quite a bit, making that roll against our character. With our knife attack, let me get some damage done right here. What they failed to realize is that he performs equally well in either position, first or second, so it doesn't really matter that much. Let's get going with some word reconstruction right here. He's going to resist and get a 6. Very, very nice. It's going to take him up all the way. The Occultist right now is by far my second favorite class. Like, seriously, he's very, very good. If you're trying to decide who you should be bringing along, you cannot go wrong with an Occultist. If you need a healer and you need somebody that's really, really good at utility, the Occultist is fantastic with the skill set that we have right now. That's pretty much his best skill set. There's some leeway if you're... Oh, that's unfortunate. And I didn't give him Holy Lance either, so we'll have to... Holy Lance moves him forward while being able to do an attack with a really, really high crit chance. I'm going to heal him because he's got a good bleed resist. There we go. Hanging in there right now. Hanging in there very, very well. I think that what I would like to go for... Yeah, let's just keep the heals going. We've still got a lot of healing to do, so I'm failing to see any situation in which healing for 8 is not going to help us. Graveyard Slash away for 5 damage right there. Okay, that's fixable on the next turn. It's fixable. Do 8 damage right there, so that's on the upper end of his damage spread, so that's good. Probably throw that on her. She is going to get a bleed out, and unfortunately the bleed is only going to... The heal is only going to pay for the bleed. So, we'll have to keep on trucking, but her heal will get us through it. Graveyard Slash out to the back line towards our Templar or Crusader, whatever you want to call him. Move him forward on his next turn. On this side, he's going to get the next turn. Be aware that the bleed does stack. So if you're healing somebody back to back to back to back over and over again, it is going to get you into trouble eventually. Just be aware. That is a mechanic you have to know exists. So you can end up taking 3 or 4 damage per round for a long term if you end up like missing a lot of rolls and kind of just being fail. Heirloom chest. We'll throw a key in there so that it gets the hidden compartment. That's going to give us better loot than we would have previously gotten, I think. On this side, we've got our scouting away. And it looks like we're going to have to go pretty deep on this one. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Let's go. Let's find some things to kill. He's excited. I like that enthusiasm. I like that enthusiasm. Keep that up. I forgot to rearrange my line. That was pretty fail of me. I should have thought about that a little bit better. Well, hell. There's no mistaking bad play, is there? There's a dodge right there, so it looks like the universe has decided to pay us back a little bit. Demon pulled to the back line right there to pull him up to the front so that he can't use Quarrel. On this side, after having used that, we're going to have her drop a lightning bolt because she needs a heal anyways. She's going to deal a little bit of damage. Bayonet jab, it's still going to crit. Not bad. Not bad for the AI. Bad for us. Not bad for the AI. A bad attack managed to do a decent amount of damage right there. Let's focus on getting... Ooh, okay. Got a dodge on us. Alright, whatever. It happens. It happens. Let's get heals running, I guess. He's got a real high... Ooh, he rolled a 0. Okay. That's no bueno. Let's continue firing. A really good roll right there. A 13 distributed over the entire party. Very, very nice. Hit them with that grave shot. Still getting a lot of dodges in too, so I'm pretty happy. Aside from the crit, happy with the way that this fight is going. Get them with our super awesome glowing scroll of deathliness. On this side, continue spamming out those heals. Alright, and we'll do our best. Heal again, whatever. I'd like to get another word reconstruction in on him, but we're going to camp before we go up against the boss anyways. So I figure, we can ride this one a little bit closer to the saddle if we want. We can grip on in, get our groin all settled right next to... Is that called a pommel on the top of the horse? Like on the top of the saddle, what's that knobby thing called? I just call it the knobby thing because, you know, I don't hang out with horses very often. Just saying. Let's see here. We're going to go, yeah, straight into the next dungeon. Avoid that because I don't feel like dealing with it for right now. We got a trap on the floor. Bandito, you want to grab that for me? Bandito, I shall give you some fritos if you're Nito with the Trapo. There we go. Let's go over onto this side. Use a shovel on that. Pretty good run right now, all things considered. Pretty decent run. Things are looking swell. Now, I could be wrong. This might not be the boss room. Usually, though, my into the areas. Okay, so the boss is right here. So what we want to do at this given moment is we want to handle this combat first. So let's go in here. We want to handle this combat, and we're going to backtrack a little bit, which generally is a terrible idea. Backtracking gives you a lot of stress. It makes your guys upset with you because they think you don't know what you're doing when you're leading the party. However, it will work in this situation because we haven't camped yet. So since that's what we're going for... Oh, good, we got surprise, too. All right, very good, very, very good. Could not have asked for anything better. I'm going to start dropping... Let's just stun him up, I guess, for the next turn. Oh, he resisted. How dare you, sir. Let's drag her up to the front. She's really, really dodgy. You gotta watch out for her. She seriously has like an amazing dodge chance, so... She may mess with our... She might mess with our ability to sustain stress over the next little bit. She may test out our ability to fondle those stress balls she's going to drag our healer up to the front. Okay. Not bad, because he still functions in the 3rd slot. He still functions in the 2nd slot, so a double dodge right there. Okay. The worst kind of double B that you could ever see. A 2 damage heal right there, better than nothing, I'll take it. And a Rend for the Old Gods out right there. Did he get the bleed? He got the bleed, so we can't heal him for a little bit. On this side, though, we're not totally worthless. Ooh.
The light.
Okay. Dodginess definitely causing us some problems right now. It's alright, though. I mean, compared to other runs, we're doing really, really well right now. I mean, the fat lady has not sung yet, but I can definitely hear her warming up with her, like, la 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 la. Like, I can hear it happening. So, now what we're going to do is backtrack. Now that that fight's out of the way, we want to go back through this door. And having backtracked now, we want to camp, because you want to make use of your resources. So there it is. Camping time. This may backfire on me. There is the distinct possibility. I'm going to use the best one right there because it gives a lot of stress release, and that's the point of what we're doing. We'll go with Bandit Sense so that it keeps us from getting attacked in the night. And then on this side, all companions. We can do a Zealous Speech, but we're really more interested in stress right now. So let's get his stress lowered slightly. I don't want him to go crazy over the end of this fight. I'm trying to cultivate this occultist. I really, really sincerely am, so we'll do... Yeah, actually. We may do some blessings as well. She's got a chant, which will give us... It's on 1 companion. I don't know if he counts as being religious. He's in the occult, which is technically a religion, being involved with the occult, so... Unbreakable Commune. 30... That's a 30 heal. I need him to be stress healed. What do we have here? I know somebody here... Let me use Clean Guns on him because that'll help out. It gives him 10 accuracy, 20 damage, and 5 crit, so that's going to help out a lot in the future. Since I don't think we have any way to lower his stress any further, what I'm going to have to do is we'll just give him... Oh, self-only. That's what I get for being bad at reading. He can't encourage himself. However, we do have 3 left. We can heal all companions, or we can go for... What did he get from right there? Stress resist? Let's see if this works. We'll do some, so he doesn't count as religious. There you go. So even though he's an occultist, the arcane and like Wicca and stuff like that are a religion. So I don't know why he doesn't count. But anyways, what is Islamic occultism called? Because that's what I figure he would practice. Like they have that for, you know, for example, there's like Santeria and shit. There's like all kinds of crazy stuff. There's like Santeria, there's Wicca, there's, and I don't mean crazy as in it's crazy people stuff. I mean it's just like the concept of what it is kind of like wild. Let's see, I've not seen anything I'm not prepared for. I always like to have a prepare in my fridge, just in case. Nice and skinned, chopped up, ready to go. Throw some cheese on it. In Radiance. Alright, there it is. We made it through there without any major problems. Sorry about that. I get it. I've gotten into the habit about checking in between. Like, every time there's a scene transition, I've gotten really, really paranoid about checking it. Because with the way the game autosaves, if the video gets wrecked due to it not liking the recording software... Essentially, I lose all of that, and you guys miss out on the playthrough, so I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather make unnecessary cuts than not make the cut and find out that, like I did with the previous episodes, that I have like 21 minutes of ruined footage that are all in like 20 frames per second, because for whatever reason, the game decided to just like freak out in between scenes. Well, this is it. Are y'all ready for your first boss fight in this game? This one's a fun one. You'll see what happens.
Towering, fierce, terrible. Nightmare-made material.
Okay, so there he is. I mean, this is what he does. He spams a lot of stress on you. Every single turn, he's going to do like 1 damage or 2 damage to everybody. He's going to spawn a skeleton, and he's going to load your stress up. That's the fight right there. And so, if you're not worried about it, you're not. I think he has really good stun resist, as I recall, to keep you from stun locking him. However, since he's going to be dealing that little bit of damage, I'm going to have her stay on top of it for the remainder of the fight. On this side, what I would prefer... Let's get rid of him. Oh, very nice. Well struck. Very well struck. Very, very well struck. Happy about it.
A devastating blow.
On this side, we're going to have to use word reconstruction because he doesn't have much else. And then on this side, we can go for a stun, but frankly, I'm just going to stay on him right now. 11 damage. Very, very nice. More than 10% of his health gone on the first swing. You can play this fight a couple of different ways. You can play it with an AoE group and just kind of like AoE your way through his front line as much as you can. that works out fine. So for example, we could use Blunderbuss the whole time and then use his scroll the whole time. Perfectly viable strategy if that's what you want to do. I've done it in one of my other playthroughs, and it seemed to work out alright. You can take a break on casting heals and stuff too if you really need to, but what you don't want to happen is for him to bog you down with random little minions. If he manages to make it to the back line with a bunch of skeletons in front of him, nothing good will happen. I'm going to leave it as a non-spoiler, but I promise, nothing good will happen if he makes it to the 4th spot in his line. It will be horrible. Ah, there we go. There's a little bit of damage being dealt. It hurt. It definitely hurt, but it didn't hurt that much, and that's the important key to remember right here. I think that for right now, what I'd like to do... Let's get a little bit of damage on him. I'm going to have her mostly focus on DPSing for right now, just in the off chance that one of these AoEs misses and we end up kind of trying to make up for lost time. And then I'll have the heals run by our occultist in the back line, because there's always the chance that you might miss, and this is the whole fight right here. So long as he doesn't make it to the back line, that's the fight. Clawing Dead does something, and I don't recall what. Oh, it just hits the back line. Okay, we're good. Never mind then. I was being paranoid about nothing. Let's go ahead and get that. Yeah, an 8 damage heal right there. My dude. My dude. What was his name? He's got a cool name if I remember correctly. Let's see if maybe... Actually, I'm just going to keep DPSing this way. It seems to be working out okay. We'll just AoE everything and just keep it trucking. I'd like to get him out of the way, but unfortunately it's not going the way that I want. I keep trying to get him out of the way so that I can single target damage on Reynald's turn. Unfortunately... It's not going according to plan. The first boss is not so terrible. The other ones are going to be a bit more challenging. So, for example, the ones you've got to worry about... Let's go for a stun, actually. I mean, we might get it. You never know. 70% is still a fairly decent chance of failing. Oh. Okay. Okay. Alright. A definite problematic hit, but nothing we can't even out with a little bit of careful preparation, I think. We might be a tad behind the 8 ball here. If we can't get rid of this little guy in the front, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Clawing Dead to the back line, that was definitely what I was concerned about. So now we've got a little bit of trouble on our hands. So what we want to focus on for right now is... Oh, we can actually... Okay, so I do have a way... What's his resist to pulling? Does he have one of those? I'm a little bit concerned about it, but... Let's... We'll go right there. Oh, a 9 damage heal. Hell yeah. Okay, RNG coming through in the end for us. Ooh, a triple dodge at the worst possible time. Okay. Alright, we're hanging in there for right now. I'm gonna... Oh, another dodge. Come on. The dodges are frustrating because there's nothing you can do about that. Like, there's really no way that you can minimize that from happening. It just sort of occurs. Okay, so we recovered. Not completely, but we've kind of recovered. Let's get some AoE healing going right now. I would love to go for a stun just because he's hitting for so much... Okay, 6 feet under works. I would rather take that attack than any other. It's almost impossible to make it out of this boss fight without losing, like, a ton of stress. So just be aware that that's a thing that's going to happen no matter what you do. So, that's life. We'll go with a heal right here. He's going to resist and take a 4. That's okay. Go for, oh, a big hit on the boss right there. That'll be nice. That's helpful. I'm going to go straight for a kill right there because it's a better plan than trying to AoE our way through it and accidentally missing. Even with his... Oh, okay. Alright, alright. We're still ahead of the game right now. Those crits, though, like I said, crits in this game, you can never truly depend... Oh, perfect. So perfect, amigo. So perfect. Well done. The crits you can never truly depend on, unfortunately. Let's go for a lightning strike right there. She is missing a little bit of health, so that'll help out. Hope for a kill right there, but don't depend on one. On this side, double dodge. Double dodge through even his accuracy buff, which is giving him plus 10 right now. Oh, Jesus.
A hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
Okay, so Michela's being tested, and he's going to become paranoid. You see how we went into this perfect, though? We had 0 stress going into this, and how quickly that flopped around on us. Not much you can do about it in this case. Let's go ahead. I got to dig her out right now. She has to make it. I mean, he's going to AoE. Depending on what he does, this might get ugly, but if we can avoid crits, we'll be alright. He is getting a tad ahead of us right now. Let's go for that right there. That'll give her a little heal and make her a little bit more resilient. And... Ooh! It goes both ways, amigo. It goes both ways. There it is. Very, very nice. Oh, man. Reynald, you are my dude right now. You are my dude. Homies. A 1. Okay, so RNG's bringing it back, whereas our RNG was really good in the beginning. It's looking like it's going to be problematic on the back end. I'm going to try and fish out a stun right there, but obviously it's not going to work. He's going to dodge that entirely. Let's see if... Oh, he's going to dodge twice. Jesus. Okay, that's no bueno. Another big crit right there. We're going to have... Actually, no, nobody crumbled. That's good. We're getting close, though. A few more dodges. I mean, the dodge rate in this game is really hurting us. 6 feet under, so that's going to... I think somebody's going to have to make a test right here. Oh, no, he missed it by 1. Huh. Well, we're not too far up shit creek just yet. We're moving there, though. We've definitely got a house in escrow alongside shit creek. So let's go for... I mean, I can pull him back to the front. That's the hilarious part. I'd still prefer... Let's see if maybe I can fish out a decent heal right here in case something goes wrong, though. Yeah, like that, for example. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And so after this, they're all going to crumble, which means that we can't rely on anything to go well right now. And so on this side, what we want to focus on, let's keep people off death's door. He's going to resist the heal because he's irrational, but everybody else should get the heals, so is what it is right now. There's another kill down right there. He is ahead of us, though, so you do what you got to do in this case. Both of them are going to resist, so unfortunately, once they go irrational and fearful, they don't want you to cast on them, and so they kind of like lose their shit. This episode is going way too long, by the way. People requested that he might die. Oh no, he made his death's door roll. That's good. Good for you, man. Good for you. This could turn into a slog now that everybody's maxed out on stress. Like, because they start taking forever. Everybody has things that they say that need to be kind of like tuned down, I guess. We've got... I could go for the kill right there. So there's 4 damage. I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to see if I can fish it out. There it is. So is he dead now? No, he's got 2 HP left. Should be right here, though. There it goes. And so the combat is finished. The only risk now is whether or not he's going to make it. And so throw out the final attack. That's going to be the quest. We completed it. Well done, everybody. I'm going to go back through. Actually, they're so maxed out on stress right now, and we could get ambushed. I might leave it alone. Oh, wow. Now it must be carried home. Okay, so we've got the Plague Doctor. We've got the Archer's Ring. That's pretty good for him. It gives him 20 accuracy. Actually, is that only for ranged characters? Okay, so that's really, really good for him. Use up another torch. There's not a whole lot that we could do right now. Our situation is a little bit... That's not a very good item, so we'll leave that alone. Over here, we're going to throw a key in the chest, and it had no effect, really? Okay, well, I guess we'll take the contents then. And that's going to give us a blue object for our Plague Doctor. So that's very, very good. You want to fish out, if you can get them, there's a lot of items in this game that are very, very valuable to you to start collecting. So anyways, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Darkest Dungeon. I look forward to seeing you all in future episodes. Take care out there, everybody. Hi-do.